Hey, it's Thursday. I know you feel blessed and refreshed. I'm back with another one, and today, as you can see by the title, the wealthiest place on earth is a cemetery. Now, hear me out. Me personally, and maybe you can relate, a lot of us write down goals and we start to do things to work towards our goals, and we get so far down the line, it might be 6 months, it might be a year, however long it is down the line, and we realize that we're still not where we want to be in our goal. So at this point, we get frustrated. We might quit. We might put ourselves down, and all these negative things that the enemy wants us to believe of why we couldn't achieve our goal. But when we think about it, our goals and our successes that we try so hard to aim towards, they're not as far as we think they are. Because at the end of the day, we wrote it down and we got it started. So once you get to that point where it's been 6 months or a year, however long, and you feel like quitting, don't give up. Keep pushing through because you made it further than you would have if you never started. Being successful can be a process. And I don't mean successful as far as the money and the fame and all those things. I mean, as far as feeling content in our lives and feeling like we're taking care of our business, we have no worry, we have no shame. That's the success that I'm working towards. Think about the fact that God is favoring us. He's favoring us because we're still in the midst. We're still here. We're still waking up every morning to be here to try to work towards those things that are on our list. So let's start today giving God honor and praise for keeping us, for favoring us, and letting us sit in that thing for so long. Now, going forward, we know to seek God and um, not just quit that thing because it took so long. We got to do as much as we can before we leave this world, as far as helping someone, encouraging someone, motivating someone, keeping somebody's spirits up, having a desire to set forth goals of our own and actually achieving them, no matter how long it's going to take. Because again, slow and steady really does win the race. If you look at social media, Instagram in particularly, Instagram is full of how people want to live their life and not how they really live. Instagram is just pictures. So they're putting filters on these pictures. They're choosing the best picture out of hundreds or however many, 10, however many, to put on Instagram to make it seem like their life is perfect. So that being their best picture of the day, think of how many shots it took for them to get that picture. That's the same thing with our goals. Not saying that our goals are not real, not saying that we're putting a filter on it, but saying how many times do we have to try that same goal before we finally get to the bottom of it? I heard one time, I think it might have been Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said that the dream is free, but the hustle and the grind is sold separately. And that's some stuff right there. And that just means that dreaming is one thing, but to actually have this goal and actually work towards our dreams and actually grind like we never grind before to get to these goals is something different. It hits different. So you don't have to do this alone. Talk to God because it's harder. It's harder without Him. It's harder than it has to be. we'll be wandering around for a long time trying to figure out why is this thing not doing what it's supposed to do? Because it might just not be time. So if you die today, do you have any dreams or any talents or any gifts, any abilities, any ideas, any anything that you're too afraid to put out there? You're too afraid to talk about. You're too afraid to dream big. But if you die today, you know all that stuff is going to go with you, right? God says he wants to use you now. Don't take those things to the cemetery with you. Do you understand how wealthy the cemetery is? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about abilities, gifts, ideas, talents, love that you could be pouring into somebody else or pouring into the world. The cemetery is now holding ideas and all these things that have never been acted on. Think about how many writers are in the cemetery. Why didn't they ever write that book? And we being left as the people, the family of the people in the cemetery, we think about how great they were, how many talents they had. Oh man, they were such a great singer. And we just realize how great they were after they've died. Pour into somebody today. And it can be, the person who looks like they're the strongest because everybody needs it. Pour into that person today. Live full, die empty. I encourage you today to set aside time every day to read something positive. The best positive thing to read daily is the Bible. And it hurts. It does hurt because God is always going to meet you where you are. And if you got some things that are just not lining up, then He's going to show you that. And you're going to be able to see for yourself and work through it for yourself with God and maybe even a study buddy if you have a buddy. But just setting aside that time to really dig in God's word, figure out what He's saying is the most positive thing you could do for yourself daily. Otherwise, there's other books. Invest in yourself, investing time in yourself, not money. Expand yourself, expand your mind, learn something new. Because at the end of the day, I think it's necessary. If God is wanting to use you, then what is it? What's on the inside of you? And it is possible to live out your dreams. It's called manifestations. It's called having a relationship with God and giving Him your whole heart and really putting in the work and watching your life change. So, no more convincing yourself that you can't do something. Tell somebody else this. Share this video. Somebody needs this. Because I lived in this type of fear for so many years of my life. Afraid to talk, afraid to seek God because I was doing so many bad things. And I just knew that he was not going to want to hear from me because I was a mess. That's not true. He'll take you and he will change your life around right now. And I'm not talking about money and cars and houses and all that. And I just have to keep reiterating that because that's what this world is nowadays. But it's bigger than that. Dreams and goals, aspirations, all those things are so much bigger than fear. And God is even bigger than that. And if you dream too small, then how far are you really pushing yourself? Just because it seems like there's a lot of money to do that thing doesn't mean you can't do it. Because God is your provider. So, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you wanting to push through? My motto is let's go. Put some umph in your chest when you say it. Put some bass in your voice. Let's go. Everybody needs this feeling. The key to making your life better is giving it over to Christ and never turning back. Think about it this way. If we ask God for something, I'm not talking about material. Let's just say I pray to God for boldness and courageousness. And I keep praying to him for it. And he knows it's in my heart. He's gonna box it up and ship it to me. Because he knows that it's gonna help me walk into what I'm supposed to be doing for his glory. So he's gonna ship me the boldness and courageousness that I'm praying for. And when that package gets here, am I gonna open it up and walk into it? Am I gonna speak up now? Am I gonna turn away from uncomfortable situations, or am I gonna be bold and courageous now? What's funny is that this box with this boldness and courageousness in it is being delivered to Faith Street. You got to be on Faith Street to get the package. But if you're not on Faith Street, the package is going to go back. How many packages do you have with your name on it? You could be anything you want to be. You are powerful. You don't need education, but it does help. You don't need a magician. This is not a magic trick. This is God and his power. And if you got that faith, you're right there on Faith Street. And you're going to get whatever package that you were calling on him for. Glory be to God. I thank God so much today for pouring into me so that I can pour out to you. And I pray that you leave me some comments. Please leave me some comments. And just let me know. Did this touch you? Did you share it? What do you think? Until the next one, stay humble, stay encouraged, stay you. That's it. That's all. As always, remember, be true to yourself. Because if you can't be true to yourself, you can't be true to nobody else.